Fortnite's new cosmetic called Companions changes everything if this is actually coming soon. Just yesterday, we got a major leak in the Fortnite space, and it looks like they're introducing a brand new type of cosmetic called Companions. Now, these aren't just back blings or anything like that. They're little pets or little types of, different things in the game that will follow you around in game and can be viewed in the lobby. This could be an absolute game changer for cosmetics in Fortnite overall, and I think that this is going to be very popular if it does end up coming out. Now, according to a leak from Hypex, Companions are the next cosmetic type coming to Fortnite, and they will follow you around in game at your feet. So unlike the traditional pets that we have in game that were introduced in Chapter 1 Season 6, which were just kind of base back blings just with like dogs, there was some, like cats, there was even like a dragon or something, Companions are expected to actually move alongside your character at your feet, adding a whole new layer of interactivity and actually kind of like revitalizing overall pets in the game. Now, like I said, this evolution could completely like give a rebirth to the concept of pets in Fortnite. As you guys probably know, they haven't seen much success or updates since their initial release. We've had some pets that were added into the item shop before. I'm pretty sure there's like a cat that was like 600 V-Bucks or something like that. But other than that, I really haven't heard much about pets, and obviously we really don't see them in the battle pass anymore. I believe the only one that's really like a collaboration that we've seen that is a pet is Baby Yoda from Chapter 2 Season 5. But other than that, I really have not heard much about pets since then, which is honestly really sad because I think they have a lot of potential. Now, the community seems to be pretty excited about this, and there's a lot of ideas that people have for potential companions. Stuff that I really didn't even think about is the fact that this is a huge way for Fortnite to incorporate even more collaborations with iconic characters that are smaller. So, we could see BB-8 from Star Wars, or, R2-D2 from Star Wars, which would be perfect for this season, but unfortunately it doesn't look like they're going to be coming out this season. We could even see like Claptrap from Borderlands. I'm not sure if they would do that because he's already used as a backbling, but maybe they could do something where backblings that are like that can also be used as companions. But we could also see, stuff like Among Us crewmates, which again is a backbling, but hopefully it could be, transferable. And then also any type of Pokemon would be perfect for this, but I will talk about that a little bit later. These characters that are, like I said, small, iconic, they would make perfect companions overall, and this would enhance the game's appeal to fans of various franchises. A lot of times when people say, like this person would be perfect for Fortnite, it's like, well, the scale might not actually work because they're too small or they're too big or something like that, and this kind of eliminates some of those problems. Now, companions are expected to be visible both in the lobby, like standing next to your character when you equip them, and in game following you around in the map. This is a concept that was made by someone online. This is what it would probably be like with them like around your feet, pretty close to you. It doesn't look like they're actually going to be super visible. I'm not really sure how visible they'll be in game. You don't want them to be like too distracting, because if they're too far away or they're too, close to you to the side, if they expand your field of view, that might be a little bit weird. Hopefully they don't impact gameplay in a negative way, but it doesn't look like they will if they're just at your feet following you around. Obviously, of course, these are probably going to be strictly cosmetic. I don't think they're going to interact with the gameplay at all. I don't think they're going to have any things that they do in the game for you or like track things down. Maybe they could have something in game that does follow you around. Like I remember in Chapter 2, we had this little like mushroom that would give you slurp or something. And like we've seen with the sprites, even though that is a backbling, it could maybe be something like that they're working on and not necessarily a cosmetic. We will just have to wait and see. Now, like I said, this has a ton of potential for very iconic collabs. The introduction of companions paves the way for all types of new collaborations. For instance, like I said, a Pokemon collab could now be feasible with, characters like Pikachu, Eevee would serve so well as companions. It allows for the inclusion of these beloved characters that might not fit as, full skins, but would work pretty well as, sidekicks that run along at your feet. And I think that does make the most sense for Pokemon because they are kind of like companions in general, like we've seen in the shows and in the games and things like that. So I think that would be awesome. Of course, Pokemon is kind of under the Nintendo umbrella, so not sure exactly how that would work, but I think Pokemon would be perfect for these companions. Now, other games have also successfully implemented features like this. For example, I know Among Us offers like mini little like stick figures and things like that will follow you around in the lobby and when you're in the game. I always thought that was pretty cool, and Fortnite adopting this concept could enhance the game's like social and cosmetic dynamics and give more players ways to express themselves. I just think that would be really cool overall. It seems like Fortnite is trying to add in more and more cosmetic types. We have shoes now, and with these companions, it seems like we're going to have a cosmetic for a lot of different things in the game, which I think is honestly pretty cool. Now, I just want to emphasize you guys that there is no official confirmation. The leak just suggests that companions could be be introduced in the next season of Fortnite. So as always, take this with a grain of salt until we hear official word from Epic Games. This is just something that people have found in the game files and is rumored to come to the game, so it's not 100% official. But overall, companions have the potential, in my opinion, to revolutionize cosmetics in Fortnite, offering more interactive and personalized experiences in general. I'm really excited to see how this feature develops and what they end up doing with it. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. What characters would you like to see as a companion in the game? Drop a like on today's video if you did enjoy. You watched all the way to the end. You must have enjoyed, so drop a like. Subscribe to the channel. I make videos like these every single day. Use code PROZEROYT to help support me, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.